If you have been feeling like God has been nudging at you and calling you to pack up and move, this might be the video you need to stay around for, because you've been praying for a sign, and this just might be it. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marquita, and let's chat today, y'all. This conversation about moving and faith moves and taking steps of faith and all of the things is always literally my favorite conversation. One is because I understand literally where you might be if you're like, I feel like God is calling me to relocate. And sometimes it's not even relocation, it's a different step of faith. But today I think we're going to just hone in on that relocation, right? And so if you felt like maybe God's calling you to pack up and relocate, I understand where you are as like the fear of the unknown. And I also am talking to you from the other side of having relocated several times. Lord, several times. So I'm talking to you on the other end of it. And I want to tell you before we even have the conversation that if God is calling you to do it, He will provide. He will walk you through it. You will not be alone. You have been afraid. The truth is that fear is not going anywhere. Based off what they say, fear is there to protect you, right? It's there to alert your brain when something is off. And when you are doing something that is unfamiliar, when you are doing something that's new, fear is happening, right? And also, if this is a faith move, there is an enemy that does not want you to do what God is calling you to do. And so the thing that you have to do is know that the fear is there and push through anyway. That is real faith. There's not a time where I can tell you that, oh, fear is going to go away. I don't know. All I know is it's coming. It's there. It's knocking at the door. You know why? Because this is unfamiliar. I remember like before I ever relocated or thought about relocating, I just was in a place of, I was settled. I was comfortable. You know, I didn't really have a bunch of big dreams. I didn't have visions. I didn't have goals and stuff like I do now. I had my same old routine. I go to work on Monday through Friday I'm working. Friday I get off. I'm going to buy me an outfit from City Trends, Rainbow. If you know, you know, this was before Fashion Nova and Shein and all them, right? And so I would go get me an outfit. I go party Friday night, party Saturday. I would go check Sunday. I go to church, got to check that box. And then I'm going to spend the rest of the day relaxing because I'm hungover, right? That was, just being honest, that was my routine. And I remember the guy who's now my husband, we were kind of talking and back and forth, but he had left. He left Atlanta and he went away to California. He's doing his music thing. He's living his life, right? And I just remember talking to him on the phone and I'm like, I'm gonna come and see you. And you know, I'm just talking. I ain't really going out there. And he's like, okay, come out here. And I'm like, what? And so then now I'm in my head, like I'm talking this talk, I'm talking big, and I ain't even ever been on the airplane before. I know I can't go to California. And so by this time, I'm like, I got to figure it out. I got to keep my word. I just got to, I'm going to do it. I'm like, the first step is going to be for me to not go back on my word, is to actually buy the plane ticket. Because if I buy the plane ticket, I got to go. So I remember buying the plane ticket. And from the day I bought the ticket to the day I got off the airplane in California, I was scared. They came, I got on the airplane, shout out to Delta, I watched me 2 movies, scared out of my mind. And I get to LA and I just remember, this was 2012, I think. And I remember getting off of the airplane and I look up and I see all of these palm trees and like the breeze. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I did it. I got on the airplane and I flew to LA. This is wild. So my husband picks me up, which he wasn't my husband at the time again, but he picks me up and he's taking me to all the cool, the beaches, right? So I went to Venice Beach and I went to Santa Monica Beach. And I think this was Santa Monica Pier. I remember standing at the pier and I'm watching this big body of water and the waves and the people surfing and just everybody around, families and people riding their bikes, and everybody just seemed so happy. And I'm like, is everybody at the beach happy? People were waving and speaking to each other and speaking to us. And I'm asking my husband, like, you know these people? He's like, I don't know them people. They just nice like that. And I remember, I'll never forget, I just knew, I felt in that moment God was doing something. He was changing my heart. Because as I was staring at that big body of water, I was like, man, I want to travel. This is what I want for my life. This is what I want for my daughter. At the time, I'm a single mother. I'm like, I want my daughter to see this. I want her to experience this. And I didn't know what that was going to look like, how that was going to happen. All I knew was I'm dating this guy that's living in California, so I can fly out there. That's going to be my way to get out there and see this again. And my husband ended up, I remember him asking me, he asked me like, would you move here? And I'm like, yeah, but not as your girlfriend. Because ladies, what we're not going to do is move across country with somebody that we're not married to. We're just not going to do that. But I was like, of course I live here, but I just can't live here as your girlfriend. And months later, he moved back to Atlanta, and low-key, I was kind of like, nah, I'm going to go visit. But he moved back to Atlanta, we got married, and in 2015, we both had the nudge from God to pack our stuff and relocate. So I have to unpack a lot of this in a separate videos, because we lived in Arizona, we've lived in California, and then we lived here in Florida. But each move was different. God was doing something special in each move, and each move literally deserves its own story. So this is just an overall broad story if you feel like you're called to relocate. But we sold some things and we packed things and we left. But let me tell you, it did not come without fear. It did not come without me being afraid. I had never did anything like this before. And I had been at my job for 5 years. My entire family's here. Like, my friends are here in Atlanta. Like, what do you mean I'm getting ready to pack up and leave everything behind? What do you mean I'm about to do this? And it was exciting and it was scary all at the same time. But I know that if I wouldn't have done that, I don't know where I would be right now. And this is a few things that I hope encourages you. What this taught me was, and what I gained from these moves and trusting God was, number one, my faith went to another level. When I did that first move and I saw how, we had a barrier, we had a roadblock, and then God came through. We needed a place, and then God came through. And one thing about God, and let me tell you, if you are going to embark on this journey of trusting Him, let me warn you, do not be looking for all the answers. You're not going to have all the answers to start with. One thing about my God, He know how to put you in a situation where you have to trust Him, because He's going to give you one step at a time. And the truth is, that's all you need, because if you got too much at one time, it's going to be overwhelming. It's going to be even more scarier. And I know we want clarity, but clarity, what I've learned, is comes with movement. As I move, things will get clearer. As I obey, things will get clearer for me. And I've never had all the answers. Not one time has God, but what He does is He gives me a step, and He waits for me to be obedient with that step. And then He gives me another one. And then maybe He gives me 2, 3 more. I don't know. But one thing about it, you won't get it all. And you just have to accept that and look at it as an exciting journey that you will go on with God. And I promise you, I can 100% guarantee you, if this call for you to do this is from Him, He will not fail you. Even when it feels like, God, you ain't coming through fast enough, or you ain't doing things how I think, He will not fail you. It is going to take your faith to another level, because you are now put in a position to fully trust God. You are now put in a position to go to God for every step. You are now put in position to rely on God to provide, to rely on God to direct you, to rely on God to send the right people in your life. You are now put in that position. And it's a beautiful and hard place because we want to be in control as humans. But it's a beautiful place to be in. And he will do, literally Ephesians 3:20 says exceedingly abundantly. He will do. He will do exceedingly abundantly. Where your little thinking thinks, oh, God gonna do this. Like, no, he blows your mind, because the Bible tells us that faith is what pleases him. So when you know he's called you to do this, and you know this is something way bigger than you, and you do it, God shows up for you, because it is your faith that pleases him. And when you don't have everybody else to lean on, because I have my family, I'm like, what I'm gonna do with, my mama, my cousin, everybody is in Atlanta. I mean, I had my husband and my daughter, but I'm like, well, this matured me though. It matured me, and it changed me for the best. It opened up doors for new friendships. I've experienced so many new things. I'm eating new foods. I think differently. My daughter has experienced so much diversity, and we learn different cultures. And I love that for her, because I want her to be able to move in any room that she's in. Fear is not a stop sign. It is not an indication that you need to stop. It's an indication that you need to invite God in, but it's not an indication that you need to stop. It's just an indication that you're doing something new and you are doing something unfamiliar. And remember what I said earlier in the video, clarity does not come from standing still. It comes from movement. So this week, what move do you need to make? What small step do you need to take? Do you need to research? Do you need to make some phone calls? Do you need to write down a plan? Do you need to call that friend that lives in that state? Do you need to start looking at jobs? You need to fast. Do you need to get quiet and start hearing, so God can tell you what the next steps are, or where he wants you to go? Maybe he's already told you where he wants you to go. You just need to start moving in that direction, because obedience changed my life, and it will change yours too. I am going to do some more videos to unpack each individual place and how God moved in each individual place as the next couple of weeks go by. But I pray that if this is you, drop it in the comments. I want to know. I want to be praying for you and cheering you on your journey. So I will see you back in the next video.